the gadgets.
Go gadget.
Go. Ha, I can't believe you said that. $100 from Walmart, huh?
Yeah, I can't beat that.
Probably what we should have done. I got about 10 of them for what I paid for this thing. And away we go. You didn't bring your hat, Arthur? Oh, you got it on there. Okay. Well, I'm glad. Makes me happy. Anybody push the button?
No.
Maybe a while before we get to go if they don't push the button. Sharon, stay put. Go ahead.
Well, I gotta back up anyway because I can go off the hard thing.
You want to do my light? You want to do my light? Get it?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. We're waiting for you to do it. Hey, Arthur.
Still highest gear.
Did you turn your radio on?
I did. I've hauled it through the times.
And I haven't heard a
Check my
word.
derailleur and see what it's doing, John. It's not going in.
Your what?
The derailleur is not going over.
On the back?
Yeah. You get on the side.
You're all the way on the top button, on the top thing. Go the opposite way, 100%, 100 degrees, or 180 or whatever. Ain't nothing moving nowhere, dude.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Something's hanging up.
Yeah.
Ah!
Totally stuck up
Cable's sticking up here. It's up. It's supposed to be.
I got you. You're right. Cable's hanging up somewhere. There we go. It's released now.
What's it hanging on?
I don't know, but it was stuck totally back here. All right. It's stuck
Yeah.
somewhere in the cable.
I can see now. See, it's
See
down
that?
here now. When it goes down, it disappeared.
Okay,
There we go.
all right. Cool.
Pulling it up. Yeah, it went down now. There you go. Yep.
All right. Well, then I'm gonna have to.
Might have a little WD or something there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to put WD or give the printed cable on it.
Yeah.
Ah.
A little rough spot or something might be hanging.
Go ahead and go. Brian, move up just a tiny bit. Arthur, I'm coming up beside you. Keep going nice and straight. Okay. Turn your other light on. Thank you, Brian. By the way, Arthur, if you're hearing the radio, you ain't talking to me.
I've been trying to talk, and I don't hear nothing.
Yeah.
I've been hearing voices for years, so it's okay.
Hey.
Now I get a bunch of rattle, but no talk.
Okay, there's something going on. We'll figure it out here next time we stop. No, I don't hear a word, so it ain't working, whatever it is. Hi, doggy. Pretty easy to see why we like it, huh?
Well, I'm ready to go sleep right now.
Yeah, for somebody particularly got back or knee trouble, nothing better.
I've got back and knee trouble.
Nothing better.
Torn cartilages, some old football injuries, and the back is inherited. It's a light form muscular dystrophy.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I've had that all my life, so it's all an art.
Well, I've been pretty fortunate. About the only thing I got is old age.
There, well, yeah, that's hereditary too. I understand.
Yeah. Well, the alternative they tell me sucks. So.
Yeah. Well, I would say better 6 feet above than 6 feet under, but I've never been 6 feet above. So. And I'm shrinking more every day.
Are you?
Think about getting something like
I've shrunk
that.
a year. I've shrunk an inch, I should say.
Ooh, that MS
Last-
must be catching you. Has anybody looked at your back lately?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Doctors just say,
Just.
have fun. It's only gonna get worse.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I say, I think it's one of those things. If you sit down and worry about it, it gets worse fast.
Exactly. I'm not.
If you get out and you do something, it's.
I've got friends that are like hypochondriacs about it, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just keeping physically fit. And
I don't know if you'll fit this one, but I imagine you would fit hers as far as legs go. If you wanted to try an 8-speed.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just gonna sit down there and rest for a minute.
What?
Keep the seat.
You can't
warm
ride
for
it?
Huh? You want me to ride it?
Go ahead, take it for a ride.
Okay.
That's your humanness.
Yeah, and that's how you go.
Sharon?
Yeah.
If you want, we can give you that radio to stick up on your front somewhere if you want to try that.
Well, where are you going to put it?
Why, don't-
Arthur, just pull that off of there for her. Let her put it on her purse belt.
Hey, whoa.
No. It's same thing as you got. Just
Yeah, I know. Stick my finger in the shred apart.
If I'd known you guys were gonna have Motorola's, I got one like that.
well, I had another one in the car if you'd wanted it. Matter of fact, I got 2 more in the car.
He's got this for the private channels.
Yeah.
Because of
The fire guys have those, and that's.
I think mine are old enough they don't have private channels.
They've had them for a while.
Have they?
Yeah. He didn't know he had one on his, and we were trying to talk with one of mine that does not have it,
Yeah.
and we had to shut it off on his so he could hear me.
I do know one thing. When I've used them on my patrol, they work better than the new ones, and they're probably 15 years old.
Yeah.
they're squeaky in this.
And what?
His.
Oh, maybe his wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing.
Oh, it's just the brake.
She don't have an earpiece?
No, I'll get another one for her. I didn't know whether yours was going to work. If yours didn't work, I'd give it to her.
Oh, I thought you had one. I'm sorry.
No, she doesn't have one.
Oh, that's why I kept saying I can hear him. And he said something about, well, you're not even answering me. And all I heard on
And-
the whole works was my name.
And I don't know whether I'm going to keep the earpiece on it when we ride or not. I'll have to think about that for a while.
Oh, I like it because it's too hard to...
What do you think of this so far?
Well, I like it.
Isn't this nice?
Yeah, I looked up the trail online, got a little taste of it, watched the videos now. Looks like something I'd like. I have a wide taste. I do mountain biking up mountains, and I also like asphalt. So
Well, this is the only biking other than when I was a kid that I've ever done, and that's I like this. This is not bad. It's not anything. If I hadn't already had one, I probably would have never got one.
there you go.
But The only thing I try to do is like the three of us go together. I try to keep everybody in sight because I don't want to leave anybody behind.
Sure.
But no, I did fire and I did all of the hard work that comes with that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah.
Do you ever do any fire?
I have never. Closest I got to that is fire training when I used to work in the aviation industry.
Ah, ooh.
Hazmat and fire training they had to go through.
Oh, I guess. There's one of them bridges I forgot was here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that can be a. Well, it's all.
Well, I was hauling Jet A.
Yes.
And highly flammable.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Were you civilian, military?
Yeah, civilian. I took the training from actually a military though, base in Alaska Air Force Base is where we took our fire training at on base.
Hello, hello. Yeah, it's working. I can actually hear her just.
There you go.
Yeah, that Firewatch thing I did this summer. This is pretty interesting. Like I said, I got an appointment. Same company, Lone Rock Timber,
Oh, okay.
and they want me to do flagging tomorrow.
Oh, sweet.
So we'll see. He's going to call me later tonight. He was trying to put. I guess he has to try to get the resources, the people, and equipment, and all that crap all in one spot.
Sure.
And it sounds like he's having a little trouble getting everything all together. But
Yeah.
we'll see. But it was kind of nice, you know, up in the trees like this. You drive up there. So I was 80 miles one way on one of the jobs.
Uh-huh.
You get up there and you spend 3 hours up there, have lunch, keep an eye on it, make sure this place don't light off,
Right.
and come back.
Fiddle.
Sweet.
Do what, sir?
I said fiddle.
Oh, all right. How's that? Is that better?
Yeah.
Are you still back there?
I don't see him.
Oh, all righty. You want us to take it easy for a minute?
Well, that's a pretty sight. Anywhere I can see horses in a little barn.
Oh, well then, have you been on the run that goes by the fairgrounds yet?
No.
There's a real nice horse. He'll come out and see you. You go by where you turn off the fairgrounds. You go down that road, and down the end of it, the bike trail takes off and goes along the freeway.
Okay.
They're nice horses down there.
Yeah. Yeah, sad. I had to sell my last horse last year. Had him all my life.
Oh man.
Moved into a place in west of Winston, just couldn't have him.
Oh man.
My back's getting so bad after being thrown a few times.
That will do it. Off of that particular horse?
Yeah, I got thrown about 30-mile-an-hour gallop.
Was he a little bit spooky or something?
Sometimes
these kinds of things
green
bother me.
broke. And yeah, just used to getting her own way. And
Alrighty.
What did I say?
He had to stick something in the saddlebag behind him. I'm not sure what it was. Something broke on it. Either his camera, or his phone, or something, or the radio. Yeah, when I was a kid, high school age kid, my cousins had horses and stuff, and I'd spend the summer with them. And I've always had pretty good luck with horses. I don't know whether they trusted me or what have you, but I know litter like this, spooky noise and stuff like that, you could, or barn sour horse.
oh yeah,
I'm gonna let you go because I need the fat spot in the middle.
You're right back to it. Yeah.
Traffic, we good?
That's good.
And away we go.
What gear you in?
6.
Oh, I wasn't 8.
I had on this particular bike, I had an older Sturmey Archer, and she got her bike, and I liked the transmission and stuff she had on it, so I went and had a new wheel made up, and put it doesn't have issues with shifting it and under when it's under torque.
I think Art's way back there.
Yeah, I know he is. He's talking to me. You still coming, Arthur?
I think it's green.
Yeah, one of my other other Schwinn's last year, I blew a tire in the rear. There was enough force to bend the rim.
Okay.
So,
I heard it bent the rim, but you did what with enough force?
it blew the tire. The
Oh,
intertube,
shit.
And it was enough force it bent the rim. And so I swapped, excuse me, it was on this one. So I swapped from my other Schwinn. I swapped the wheel
Uh-huh.
to this one. So far it's doing good.
Ah,
But I always like to have extra parts around.
do you ever go down to Waldron's or whatever it is down there? That guy down there at the bike shop there is pretty. It seems to be.
I have, yeah. I try to do most of the work myself, but I have gone down there before. Haven't had to do any work for him before. I just talked to him about some issues.
Yeah, he seemed to be real nice. He fixed a tire for Art, did a couple things for me that were just, you know, I wanted him to lace the wheel, but
Yeah.
apparently he was on vacation and his helper took the phone and gave him the message about 6 weeks later, and I said, well,
Yeah.
I'd have had you do it, but your partner didn't take care of you there, bud.
Yeah.
But that happens. You hire what you can get.
Yeah, I think this is ready for some new tires by next year, but I don't put that much. I probably put about 500 a year
Now,
on them.
you see this kind of stuff,
Oh yeah.
and these are real thin. I mean, they're thin. Like, matter
Those
of fact,
thorns probably could puncture that, I bet.
well, I had trouble this tire here.
Yeah.
You see the red cap?
Right.
That's the second tube I put in it. The first tube I put in, I think what happened was I didn't get the thorn out.
Yeah.
So I think I got it this time, so we'll see.
Well, I think that's what I might have had on one of his tires too, because I kept going through inner tubes.
Yeah.
Barely
You got
put 'em
it,
in.
and you just got it practically turned inside out and just go so careful.
I rubbed my hand real slowly
Yep,
through
yep, yep.
everything, never found it, but I end up putting 3 times thicker than average in the rear.
Try this.
Hopefully that'll work.
You know what microfiber tile is?
Yeah.
Just take and run in there. It'll find it.
Yeah, it'll snag anything. Yeah,
Yep.
right.
Oh, Arthur's made it, so we can go fast now.
Hey,
Okay.
whoa! He said, wait a minute.
Trying to catch you, you jerk.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you catch me yet?
He's gonna ram you.
Put this behind me right here.
In the what?
The thing, the pocket.
Like that?
Where'd you put it?
I put it in the bag.
It's on the right side pocket. You want it in the left side pocket?
That's all right, as long as it's back here. The pin that holds the clip on broke.
Wow, that damned old pin.
Should we go fix it?
I suspect.
Hey, what's wrong with good old duct tape?
Duct tape works too. What we do is we take the radio and duct tape it to his head. I know, I'm a pain. Yeah, if you could talk to your supervisor, Brian, are you back there?
Talk to me.
Yep. If you could talk to your supervisor and just at least give me a yay or nay on that, I'd appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll
I mean, I understand they probably don't have time to respond to everybody, but
I'll talk to the HR manager. I'm actually the supervisor.
okay. Well, your supervisor is what I was asking.
Yeah,
we're talking
exactly.
about.
Yeah,
Unless you're running a company.
no. Above me would be my branch manager, Eugene.
What are we looking at? Oh,
Okay.
well, that's one of the ones I never even knew that one was there.
Oh, I see it. Cool. There's a lot here in Oregon. I think more per capita than the other state.
I wouldn't be a bit surprised. Covered bridges, the most in the United States is what the man said.
I think it is. It's either that or Madison County, because I read the book. I don't know.
Oh, did you see the movie?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. I think that's Madison County. Yeah, I think there's one of the others.
Some places got a lot of snow.
Waterfalls too. We have a right up.
Got somebody coming, guys. No, we're not holding up traffic. We're just trying to get out of their way is all.
We're passing.
Speedies. Hi, Speedies.
Morning.
Good morning to you. Wonderful day. Good morning. So a cabinet maker, huh, Senor? Damn. Hi, hi. Well, usually if you get to doing a cabinet, I mean, honestly making cabinets, not buying ready-mades and sticking them together,
Yeah.
your talents have got to be there, because it kind of shows up real fast if you don't.
I think the only cabinets I did, like a lot of them was, we had a public school, new public school with, and I put a bid in, we built all the cabinets for all the schoolrooms up there.
Uh-huh.
Did John show you the excavation?
Yes.
The excavation was in.
Yes, Arthur, he did. He actually saw it on his own. John didn't show him anything. You know, John never looks at nothing. John just drives.
Yeah. Well, agree.
Have you guys seen that new wooden walk bridge close to Glide? Or just past Glide?
No.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what year that is. A bridge went down in '65.
Okay.
It was a vehicle bridge. They just recently built it 2 years ago.
Okay.
All wood. Beautiful.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, my wife and I just walked on it yesterday.
You take your wife
Uh-huh.
into town, and it's the old bridge that this railroad used to go across in town.
Uh-huh.
And they've really got it fancy.
Oh, really?
I mean, you ought to see it. It is, and it's all brand new, but God, it's beautiful.
Yeah, just about like 5 miles or so out of Glide, head east. Yeah, off the North Umpqua.
Heads up.
Looking good.
All right, here we go. I'm going to slow down and wait for Sharon. Oh, you know what I didn't do, Arthur? I didn't turn on the tracking thing, but I think it'd probably kill my phone. But
Yeah, this distance you might. I didn't either. Okay.
that's what Sharon has, is S4.
I got the S5. Oh,
You're still paying for them, no problem.
for your information, you're really moving. Wherever they're digging ruts, the roots coming up, and you notice they paint them.
Oh yeah, give you a heads up.
Yep.
Yeah, here's one.
Yeah. So they let you know that they're coming up on something.
At 80 miles an hour, these things kind of get a little airborne.
Oh, man.
That's right, you don't have any shocks on those roots, do you?
No shocks,
I got
barely have any tires.
3 inches there between my butt and seat.
Oh, shut up. You gonna rest a minute, Arthur?
I don't know, I'm trying to move a little bit. Well, I'm wearing out quick today.
You hadn't been on the bike in a while.
That's right. Well, that 2 weeks without my pills put hurts to me.
Did it really?
Yeah, I told you I went to 308.
No, you didn't tell me that. You said you were over 300 though.
308.
You know, I normally like a 308, but with 158 grain in front of it.
Yeah.
Would you?
Smith.
Do you really? All right. He wants.
some
You
good
want to sit
Smith
for a
and
second? Is that what? You, okay. Let's
I gotta
hang out
take
for a
half
second.
break.
I even hacked the barrel off a little arch, didn't I?
Yeah.
Gunsmithing for you, yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, it's that's another trade that if you do it well.
It's getting to be popular these days too. A lot of people are getting into gunsmithing. Yeah.
A lot of people are getting into guns. Hence, a lot of people are getting into. But with
Well-
with the craziness that goes on in the world today, you just feel better if you can say, well, no, maybe I don't want you to do that.
When I bought my first M4, and I took it out and I fielded it, and free hands, standing up, no rest, put 5 rounds in that at 50 yards, open iron sights. So that's good now.
Now an M4, is that like a
It's AR-15.
AR-15?
Only
Okay.
it's Colt's designation for the M4
Right.
since they supply the military. They have to have their special name.
5.56, 22, big 22.
Big,
A lot
well,
faster.
still small 22, but 2,800 feet per second. Yeah, I used to shoot 22 250s, and I would load them up to 4,000 feet per second.
My friend had a 270, and I was impressed because I'd been shooting.
Focus.
I had been shooting 30,
Yeah.
just regular straight, either 30 or 30, 6, and this was when I was a kid again. And Sharon knows him. His name is Richard Thorpe.
I thought Richard couldn't shoot with a gun.
Richard wasn't. Well, no, he could shoot. He just wasn't as good as I was with long gun. But his eye, he had like a 2010 eye. I don't know exactly what his vision was, but he could see shit I could never see. Swear to God. And he'd say, "Hey, you see that down there?" And no, down there about 100 yards on the right.
Yeah.
And he'd look at it,
Either
and I could shoot it, and he'd miss the goddamn thing. So between the two of us, we could do all right. But the short guns, haven't done too bad lately. Art and I've gone out a couple of times, but with the short guns, I was never any good.
Everybody's like that. I figure it's kind of what you grew up with. Because, like, for example, my wife, my youngest daughter, they don't like long guns. They're all pistol. I put the M4 in their shoulder. I put a 30-06 or whatever, and they're like, even a shotgun. They're like, anything with a stock. It's like my wife will shoot my pistol grip 12 gauge. So she's like, just a big pistol.
And she needs to learn how to shoot that one.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, they don't like the other ones.
Yeah, the pistol grip 12 gauge of all, and I've talked to her about taking my stuff out and going shooting with it, and
When I was guiding in Alaska, I had a Mossberg 500 pistol grip sawed off to 16-inch barrel, and I had a pouch where I could pull it right off.
500, which is a shotgun.
Yeah,
Okay.
12 gauge pump.
I was going to say a 500 sounds like an awfully big rifle to be sawing the goddamn stock off on.
Held 5 rounds.
Right.
5 rounds in the tube, and I was putting 1 1/4 ounce slugs. in
Slugs, rifle slugs.
Yeah.
On cylinder bore.
there. 3,000 pounds at the muzzle is what they put out. So they would take the shoulder out of a grizzly. That's what they're designed for. Yeah.
That tree right there would be
And I would shoot it like a pistol. I would shoot it
No.
like a pistol. Yeah.
horse shit.
Yeah. And,
And you still have a wrist.
yeah.
Were
yeah.
you framing at the
Yeah.
time?
22-ounce framing hammer. Built up the wrist. But I also had a 45-70 Derringer, and nobody ever wants to shoot those.
No. No, that little that
It just
380.
about kicks totally out of your hand when you fire it.
That 380. They make a 40 in the same kind of a looking framework as that
exactly.
LCP. But everybody says you really don't want one of
I
those.
think the 380 kicks quite a little bit in that small frame.
Yes, and
Yeah.
like I told you, I was shooting with mine. Well, I showed you where it run a blister on mine that one time
Yeah.
we were out there. I shot a box of rounds through it, which is
Yeah.
a lot for a little tiny gun like that.
380 is also known as a short 9 in
Yeah,
Russia.
short 9, short 38.
Because it is just a little bit less power than a 9. So yeah, it's not too bad.
That's
It's
a
the
good
lowest
gun. I
end for
enjoyed it, but I
self-defense.
couldn't.
You
I
wanna use
couldn't.
it.
I couldn't
Couldn't make it work. If you can't make it work, it's a waste of time.
You know, I bought my wife a Taurus 40, the mock-up of the Beretta 92 at the military carriers.
Right.
And same thing. I wanted to do it as a surprise, so she didn't get to. Well, she couldn't even rack the slide.
Yeah.
And I didn't want the gun, so I sold it to my foreman at the time.
Well, I think the reason that Art has trouble with this one, I think they have, because the gun is so light, they have to have a pretty sizable spring to be able to bring to first of all launch the bullet, and then
Yeah,
to make
hold
the action work.
That's exactly
If
right.
it were a smaller gun, then he'd have, and that 25 he's got,
Yeah,
it's a heavier gun all the way around,
right.
but it has a relatively easy slide.
Shoot, no connection.
You have no connection?
No connection. With AT&T,
Come on.
probably right in the verge or something.
You're in the
I'm on 3G. That's what I got. Usually this one's 4G. But-
Yeah, I don't even know. I didn't check what it said. Yeah, I got no G.
AT&T.
No G, no go.
I got
Well,
no G.
I'll tell you, Art and I had, because he drove so
There's
much.
my buddy though. He hangs out in my house.
Is that right?
Yep.
You feed him?
Yeah.
But Art and I have traveled so much, and you too for that matter, but I mean, he did it constantly, and we did it whenever we decided to, that we decided over the years, the AT&T was the best at one time,
Yeah.
but
They fell
AT&T
off.
and Verizon are still the best out of the whole goddamn bunch.
Yeah.
So
I
I've
think
been with them for a
Verizon's
lot
got
of years
AT&T beat.
now it does, yes.
Yeah.
But it'll go back and forth. It'll change eventually.
Yeah, it's like all products, you
Well,
know.
see, when I first started in getting a cell phone, the only cell phone that would go coast to coast was AT&T.
Yeah.
Nobody else would.
Because at the time, Verizon was still
In the
GE
baby.
Wireless and
And when I first got into them was about 17 years ago. They were offering talk to all your family for years.
yeah. See,
Huh?
he's got fingers in his goddamn gloves.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sometimes.
But I had
Every once in a while,
AT&T.
I miss a finger.
I had AT&T, and the only way I could get AT&T was down in California.
Yeah.
So I used my dad-in-law's address to get it. And then I moved the address up here for, 7 years I was paying the bill from up here.
Yep.
No problem. And all of a sudden they send me a deal in the mail where you can update your phone. So the only place I could find AT&T was in Medford. So I went down there. I was going to update and get a newer phone. And I put down my zip code. Says, we can't cover you.
Huh.
That belongs, you have to go to Edge Wireless in Roseburg. So I had, oh crap. So I went to Edge Wireless. They hooked me up with their phone. Took the phone home and I couldn't even make a phone call sitting at the house.
Wow.
Yeah, his deal where he lives, that where the hill is and where the towers are, it was real sketchy then, and he can get it now. Even with Verizon, he can have some issues with it, but
I can still have a little bit of problem with it. I got just like maybe a bar and a half with Verizon, but so after I went through 4 different phones, they kept telling me it was a telephone. I said, no. I said, it's got to be where I live. No, it's a phone. So they give me another phone. I go home and try that for a day or two. I come back screaming and hollering. After 4 telephones, I said, you know what? You can take these phones and stuff them.
Huh.
They're no good. I don't want them.
yeah, and that's
So I go across the street to Sprint. Oh yeah, we got the phone just for you.
this was
I went through the same round and round with them.
even worse.
Worse.
Really?
And finally I says, they're yours, you take them.
Uh-huh.
And that was what, 8, 9 years ago?
Yeah.
They're still trying to sue me.
Wow.
They're still.
What it is they've sold off the bill to a couple of different
Well,
collections,
sure,
and
yeah.
everybody keeps trying. But and the thing
Yeah.
is they promised a service that they couldn't provide
Well, and that
at
sounds
the
like-
address he gave them.
Right. That
So-
sounds like what happens with me about a year ago, I guess now, with Dish Network. It kept cutting out. I would have the audio and video would freeze. The picture would all of a sudden freeze. A few seconds later, the audio would freeze. Having this multiple times. They diagnosed it. Oh, it's a receiver problem. Went through 7 receivers.
Holy
HD
moly.
receivers. I said, okay, it's obviously more than a receiver problem. They
Did
ended
you
up
install it or
changing-
somebody else?
No, it was all their techs. Did all
Okay.
this stuff. They ended up changing the whole system, brand new dish, all the wiring, everything was still having it. So I said, okay, obviously we have, and this is over a couple different months. I was real patient with them over several different months. Long short of it, I says, obviously you're having an issue that you can't figure out. Your techs, you say, we're stumped.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not up to me to figure it out.
No, you're
You're still charging. I'm still getting my program interrupted frequently. You're not providing the service our contract. You broke the contract.
right.
So I canceled the service
Right.
and said, you're not going to charge me a penalty because you broke the contract.
Right.
And they wanted to argue with me, and they kept emailing me and stuff for a couple more months later saying that, and they lost the receivers that they sent back too, that the tech sent back.
Went back to El Paso.
And they would say, oh, you owe us for 3 receivers, $1,700 and stuff like that. And I'm like, no. I've got the receipts here where they were mailed back through the
You ought to try.
UPS.
You ought to try this in an RV.
Oh.
You haven't lived when you tried an RV.
So anyway, here's the kicker though. So finally, after battling back and forth and everything, and I says, I'm not paying you for something that I delivered to
Right.
you. Sorry, but if you didn't receive them, it's your guys' fault that you didn't.
Right.
And so I finally get an email back. Oh, we found your receivers.
No
No
shit.
apology. No nothing.
Yeah.
We're taking it off your bill.
Well, what I learned, because I went through it in an RV and I was mailing the receivers back from different places. I mean, we were all over Hell to Breakfast, but they all went to El Paso.
Oh.
But I learned to give
that
them.
was the address. Yeah.
I learned. Yeah, I know it was.
Everything goes to El Paso.
But
Goes through
I
El
learned.
Paso,
I
yeah.
learned to get a tracking number and go ahead
yeah,
and follow it.
I had tracking.
And when I had the tracking number, I said, if you like, I can fax the track to you. It
Yeah.
was delivered to your location.
Exactly. Oh yeah, I had tracking numbers on everything.
You ready?
Yeah.
I was
Everybody
like that
ready?
deal with Sprint. I finally kept calling their main office
Uh-huh.
and said, you know, this thing ain't work. And I had a representative who was supposed to be the head of that office because I started with a couple different people that didn't speak much English.
Yeah.
I said, I want to
Been
speak
there,
to your
done that.
supervisor. So I got somebody that was spoke
Highly
good
from
English.
China.
And I said, you know, this thing does not work. I said, you know, I'm not paying nothing. You guys broke your contract because I have no service. And you know what this broad told me? We never guarantee you service.
We never guarantee you service. Well, you know, I told her I never guaranteed you payment.
Works for me.
That's it. I don't mind taking a hit in my credit. I got 870 last I checked. I can afford a few points.
I haven't got 870, but I got enough to get an American Express card.
There you go.
You have 840, John Boy.
I'm sorry, I have 840.
That's really good.
Only because my retirement's good.
There you go.
As opposed to your retirement.
I'm living the dream.
How old are you?
47.
Yes, you are. If you were able to retire anywhere near that 50-year mark, you are living the dream.
Well, I started out working at my dad's construction site, collecting blocks of wood and stuff at 7. I was working full-time by the time I was 13. I was 1/3 owner of the company by the time I was 16, silent partner, because I couldn't sign contract yet.
Right.
Time I was 22, I had my own company. So yeah, I've already put in my time.
Yeah, good. I hope you were able to get out of the company with a bucket full of money.
I wish, but I made about $104,000 on my last home,
Uh-huh.
pocketed, in 08.
Uh-huh.
And that was enough to move us back down here to Oregon.
Well,
Put
you
my
know,
daughter through private school and all, but that's why I had to
Good.
go back to work again.
that's, you know what?
I had a little bit.
Well, I was, like I say, I'm retired Fed, so I got, as long as the government keeps printing money, I'll get something, whether or not it's worth anything.
They
to
got
me.
the ink. That's it.
But that's all I have.
Yeah.
But
I got 4 years left of house paid off, so that's not bad.
good. That's a big deal.
All my cars are paid off, you know. You don't need a lot. You
Yeah.
don't have a lot outgo.
I don't know if you're looking at Securitas for anything. They got 401k there for you?
Yeah, they got a lot of different plans
Yeah.
that you can get into.
I don't need any of it. I just wanted to know.
Yeah.
That,
But they're like a lot of companies these days. Securitas is the largest security company in the world.
okay.
They took over all the big ones here in America.
Okay.
Pinkerton, Burns,
Okay.
which is who started the FBI.
Is Securitas French or German or what?
Good question. I have not been able to track that down yet.
Okay.
Where that comes from. Everybody's asking me that, and I keep forgetting to look it up.
I think it's probably just like, you know, Volkswagen's Getrag
Yeah.
and, you know, Hemmerhoffen and whatever the hell they talk
Yeah.
about, just a tagline kind of a thing.
But yeah, they have taken over a lot. Just like I used to do armed work for Loomis, and they were the largest. They took over.
Well, you don't like carrying the money around?
Yeah.
People have a tendency to want that, right?
Yeah.
Old piece of lumber out here, no big deal.
You know, I worried about my coworkers tapping me in the back of the head worse than anything.
Yeah.
You know, you're spending sometimes $14–20 million at a time in the back of your truck. Like,
And you're getting 15 bucks an hour?
yeah, exactly.
Let me see.
Let me see. I take out my partner. I drive the truck wherever I want. I didn't worry about the other people, even though we were constantly looking out for snipers and all. We had 2 officers murdered while I was working there.
It's not unusual.
Yeah, and they came up the back of them, just popped in the head and took their sack and went off.
Yep.
Cops caught them within 4 hours.
Criminals have never been real bright. If they're real bright, they'd leave you and take the whole truck and you wouldn't know what the hell
Real bright,
happened.
they wouldn't be criminals. Exactly.
Thank you.
Yeah, but anyway, now I'm, you know, I don't have to do that anymore, so I like it.
That's good. Well, that's what I'm doing. I'm choosing what I want to do.
That's it.
I did something Friday. I got a deal going with a finance outfit out of Georgia for mobile homes. And they need somebody to go out and take pictures
Oh, there you
and
go.
inspect them and, you know, that sort of stuff.
Sure.
And I went out and did a lock and do some other stuff.
Uh-huh.
So let me go buy the pisser. I think it's coming up here.
Is it? All right.
I think I'm-
There's Dorena.
Yipper.
Great. That's the first time I've been to the lake here.
Oh, it is. This is gorgeous all the way around. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
That's nice. Yeah, we lived by a nice big lake. We were in Helena for 9 years.
Helena, Montana.
Yeah, capital city.
We went through buildings. We had. I worked for a gas sniffing outfit, you know, that goes along for gas lines.
Yeah.
We went all over hell to
I used to
Colorado.
do that for free when I was a kid.
Did you?
Diesel was my favorite sniff. Yeah. Explains a lot.
But we had some friends that were doing a job in Billings, and we'd come up through Yellowstone. We were doing the world tour at that time. And oh, here's where I want to go. And so we went into Billings and got to spend, or I'm not sorry, we had friends in Billings, and we went through Sheridan, was where they were doing their work.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And
Sheridan, Wyoming.
anyhow, I better undo myself here, or I'll.
We liked it there. If I hadn't had the opportunity to go to Alaska and I did this 40-acre subdivision, the first thing I did when I went up there, we'd have probably stayed. Well, I'd probably still be in Montana. We loved it there.
Hard time convincing him, no, it's not just go on something new. It's the idea is to
Do a lot of
exercise and ride the bicycle.
Yeah, you have to get that.
Have you been
You have to exercise the bike.
Have you been out running the trails
They,
through Eugene?
they go to pot if you don't exercise.
Hell, his has gone to seed, not just to pot.
Hey,
I know. I got one. I got one right there too.
That's what my wife always says exactly.
No, have you ever been out
Ours is in
run
daycare
on
right
either
now
side of the
because-
river in Eugene?
Daycare?
Yeah.
No, haven't done that
Because
one
we were
either.
going to leave so
We
early
did,
this morning, and he loves
Okay,
going
honey.
to doggy daycare.
Yeah? Okay, Ken.
With all his friends, you know. And then you can't even mention the word.
Up there where that big shopping center is,
Well, good for you. Keep it
what the
up.
hell they call it?
Thank
Can't
you.
hear. Anyhow, we parked there and we went across the bridge here, and then we went all the way clear down, almost under I-5, went across the river, and then we went up the other side all the way clear back up to that Valley River Center.
Oh, yeah, yeah. He used to deliver stuff there all the time.
Yeah,
Right
that
there, that
and
Valley
that's a
River
nice
Center.
ride. That's all kinds of trails around there.
Oh man, you could ride for hours and never
Yeah.
run out.
Up and down the river on both sides, and it's all developed, all marked.
And it's all smooth, easy
I
to
know.
ride.
I knew there was a lot of trails around there, but I never.
We want to go back one of these days and go on east or on west. See, we did everything to the east. Now we want to go back and go west because there's, if you ever look up on Google Earth or even on maps and
Does that work for you, Dad?
put bicycles in there,
Yeah, I have.
and all of a sudden you see all these little green worms everywhere.
Trails everywhere, yeah.
That's the trails.
Oh, there you go.
You're doing fine.
That's a good way to do it. Okay.
Alrighty there, Brian. This ain't my first time at a rodeo, but it ain't even my first time at this rodeo.
Wagons ho!
Well, you,
Yeah. I'll get there eventually.
Let's put this thing back in here, and this back up over my shoulder. Put this in here, and I'll get it together one of these days, John.
well, it works, so that suits me. I
Yeah,
mean,
I like how it works. Sure, it works pretty darn good in my opinion.
all right, we're up and at 'em. I'll go order a couple more, and that way we'll have an extra.
Yeah.
And that way Sharon can have one. I don't know if she wants to stick one in her ear or not. All right, Brian. No fair showing off. We know you're better than we are.
The only one in the whole group that can stand up on two wheels. I look like a drunk going down the road.
I'm the only one that's got tires that can go off road.
Yeah.
So.
Hey! Don't give me that. Look back there. Look. No, right here. Right there.
There you go.
Actually, my other wheel has got really actually has knobbies on it. I had them not put knobbies on this one because I never use it off road.
I've been threatening to put something a little more calm on here, but then every once in a while I do take a trail road, so
Yep.
makes it nice.
Hey, Brian.
Yeah.
This outfit that makes these for the Rambler,
Uh-huh.
they've got one that has their 44-inch rubber.
Okay, smile, you're on video.
Oh, you got his camera?
I'm videoing right now.
Hey! We bad? Well, you've been on video for the last hour and a half, so. Hey, and by the way, Brian, if you do get some good video out of that, ship it to me, will you? You got my email address. Drunk is good. going to change my mind, Arthur.
And do what?
I'm going to put it down on my belt if I can.
All right. Well, I had mine there, and that's how I ended up breaking the plug on mine.
Well, I'm going to hope it doesn't break it on mine, but we'll see.
Probably will. Where'd you get those things from, China?
Oh, no, it cannot come from China. This come from Korea.
Okay. That's even worse.
Even worse.
My daughter's thinking about buying a car from Korea.
Yeah, Kia
Kia,
or Hyundai.
which is the parent company's Hyundai.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I was doing some research the other day. They started building those in 45.
Oh, that car's been around for a while, yeah.
They just got more popular more recently.
Well, the Kia is a little cheaper than the Hyundai.
Yeah.
Essentially the same.
The
Yeah, it's
warranties and
I think, what is Hyundai or Kia or one of them got a 10-year warranty.
Really?
Kia. Kia's the one that's
heard that.
Well, that's like industry leader.
All
Now,
my friends just bought one.
If you're kind enough to send me those pictures one way or the other, then and the videos, and I'll put it all together and I'll send it back to you. I don't know if you do
Yeah.
you do the video editing.
Throw Art a link to whatever you got.
Oh,
email
I'll
or
throw it to
whatever.
you, yeah.
And yeah, if it turns out decent or whatever, I'll throw a link to you.
It doesn't have to be decent. We can fix it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do any production or I'll just throw raw or whatever, but yeah.
I've got the stuff to do the production with, so that's not an issue.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't had the time to do too much video production recently.
Yeah, 48 hours a week, I think I can understand why.
So
That ain't no excuse.
those are my slow weeks.
That ain't no excuse.
And that's just on one of my jobs.
How many jobs do you have?
Well, let me see. I'm a full-time,
Full-time BS, sir.
I was going to say, yeah. That's it. That's a full-time job right there.
Did somebody get your number?
I guess.
I want sort of out of the road, but I wanted to be pointing out.
We'll just go right straight up there.
But
15.
That's all right. If you have a talent, use it, and if it's BS, that's okay.
There it is. I was trying to figure out how to get us all in this picture. There's no limbs around here. Usually I'll hang on a limb, make a tripod.
yeah.
But no limbs.
How about a trash can?
Yeah, put set
Yeah.
ones out there and we sit over here.
Might be able to hold this for a second, right?
Do they have it chained down?
Let me see if I can get.
Yeah,
Oh,
right there.
Too close though.
No, you're all right. I just gotta hold my nose over here.
That's not the bad part. Go around the corner a little bit. You get into some really good stuff.
Oh, it's nice.
Don't take your camera though; it'll wreck it.
Yeah. It's already getting.
The film will curl up.
It's already. Well, I did have a real hard time getting the film curl up in this. But yeah,
If you get that bad, you're in trouble.
I'm really in trouble. And I used to shoot a lot of Kodachrome. Okay. Trying to remember on this one. Where's this?
Yeah, where is the 10-second button?
I haven't shot with this one for a while.
It's time to buy a new one. Is that a Canon?
And some of them on my Nikon, it's got a button that's dedicated to that. You just push it one way and it'll. But I don't know what yours has got.
Yeah.
You don't either.
Been too long. I've got too many cameras. I haven't shot this before. Okay, what is
Talk, camera.
Here we go. Okay. Yeah, some of them will talk to you these days. Okay.
Oops, you pushed the wrong button.
Yeah, it's like, tell me which button to press then.
Yeah, right.
Okay, 10 seconds.
Hmm. 20 seconds are over. Oh,
Yeah, 10 seconds when he hits the button.
Alright. Here we go. You'll see the flashing light.
Okay, it's flashing. It's flashing.
There we
Flashing.
go.
Do something.
Right now.
There we go.
There we go.
Cool.
My friend Jackie had a Canon that she found laying alongside the road.
when Brian gets up there with you, ask him if he's going to go have a sandwich with us later. Cool. Hello. I think these tadpole recumbents are the hit of the town. I'm coming beside you. Is it any easier to pedal? I adjusted one of the brakes and it was dragging a little bit. You know, it was kind of rubbing against the brake rotor.
Oh, my bike?
Yeah, on your bike.
I didn't notice any.
Okay, well good.
I didn't notice.
Well, it is because it was dragging, so. That's it. We're pretty close. Yeah, Art, we're just crossing the bridge now. Hello.
Ah, yeah, you got a good view. Good
Hello.
morning.
Hi, hi. How you doing? Yep, I think I see him too. Well, it's downhill, otherwise we would be catching him. Well, it's true on a downhill, any kind of a downhill, even falling out of the sky, there is such a thing as a terminal velocity. That means you're only going to fall so fast or go so fast. And weight will help you go fast if your size doesn't increase, physical size doesn't increase. Losing too much weight and still have the same physical amount of frontal area, if you will, or that. Yeah, I didn't recognize whether he said smoke or snake. Okay, I got it just before you cross the road in the post and all that, but what is it we're looking for? Alrighty. As in big, stupid cobra, rattler, and that kind of thing, rather than smoke like in the sky. Okay, I got a snake out of it that time. Thank you. And it's nice out here. Me too. I'm loving it. Just right. Arthur's trying to keep up with Brian, which he ain't never going to do. And downhill he's got the more gears, so he pedals just a little bit, he really gets some speed going. No, that won't help that at all. Well, yeah, that's exactly right. And whether or not I think Brian has a little bit of a bullshit component too, but he does understand a lot of what he's talking about. Yeah, it doesn't sound like he's got a lot of money or anything like that, but something supports him. Well, yeah, well, if he's working and that because he wants to, then that's a different story. If he's working because he has to, then I think that might be the case. Oh, there's a little snake. There he is. Looks like he's in pretty good shape. He probably hadn't figured out what runned over is yet.